Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I really enjoyed all of you watching, and I just want you to know I'm going to finish reading and understand this is just a first reading. So, the general purpose is just to give you a real solid overview. Okay, we're going through. Maybe some stuff may have gotten slipped or skipped, but no major points were missed in the first reading. You're not going to get everything from this in this format. Without coming out and living it and going through the process and helping and participating in each and every step of the rebuilding, you are doing nothing, right? This book has been available for some years, and there are many who know about it, but none who have actually done or completed it as I have begun to walk the steps. So, I want to thank you all for watching. We're going to finish reading before Ramadan is over. All right? This my word. It's my oath. I'm going to finish this reading before Ramadan is over. So before Ramadan ends, we will be right back at Exodus chapter 20. We're in Genesis chapter 30 now, so we just have 40 chapters to go. So we're going to dig in, and when it's over, it's over. After I finish this reading, this will cease. I have got some great news on the account and the word of 4 witnesses. We will be successful. So, the high priest Ali has told me he will have his share and his portion to get whatever is necessary, proceed, and with the land acquisition. We got Yuma out in Queens, and she said she has her portion, and whatever the cost is of whatever is needed, she is there. Proceed with the acquisition. Then my teacher called, and he has seen the location, and that he will be there to make the agreement according to what is best for us and make sure that we have every mandate and order of protection, that it will be well with us where we are going. And then that is the third witness. And the fourth witness is my friend and our guide here in Amman has already suggested that it will be well with us in the same location. So we have 2 people with 2 witnesses for us to make the agreement in the right place, the place of Rabatka, like it says for us to go, right? Rabatka. And we also have 2 witnesses for the funding. And they are not just funding the land. I'm going to read you everything that is being financed. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Here's what is being financed. So we're getting farms, right? The farmland with housing included, with olive trees, grapes, pomegranates, figs, almond trees, and fields for wheat and vegetables. Okay. It says it's going to be a big, wide, and spacious area. The vehicles, we will have three. We will have a truck to transport vegetables back and forth to the supermarket, the van, transportation of people, and the small car, which is a small transport for business, people, whatever is needed. We will be getting cattle, cows, sheep, rams, goats, camels, and donkeys, and doves. Okay, so we will be raising doves on the property as well. We will be getting the supermarket, and we're looking to see if there is a store available that we can purchase and buy. But most likely, we will purchase the land, a small piece of land, maybe 100 meters by 100 meters, and build a small store. A nice little supermarket. It will have personal things, or we will probably divide it and have one area for personals and cleaning supplies, and the other one for your food, teas, vegetables, and milk, your general needs, and some snacks. On the farm, we will also have a storage so that the people on the farm, you don't have to go to the supermarket to get things. So we will have a small storage on site, and it will carry the majority of personal needs. So your soaps, your deodorants, shampoos, we will have that on site for all of our residents. They will also be funding construction, which is the supplies, bricks, cement, rebar, and labor, engineering and design. And my friend, who is our guide, is our engineer. So everything is already situated in-house. And the next thing that also is housing, which is land with housing already built, and factoring in supplies and labor for additional building costs and housing units. So I am just glad, alhamdulillah, that we have everything in store. So whether you have given or you have not given, I'm grateful, because success and favor was found before Yah in me teaching and telling you the truth. I know a lot of you may not like what I say, and that is because it tears down your idol. But I have done nothing wrong to you, neither have I made any accusation against you. The accusations made was stated by the books, and they are true. I will not lie and say that you are not doing all of the wicked things that the book says you are doing, when the Most High says he's coming to redeem you in this time. Because if you weren't doing it,
there'd be no need for
redemption. You see? So I know, I got everybody on here, naysayers, snitches, spies, haters. I got everything. And like I have wasted no time with you in the past, I will waste no time with you now. And I will continue to proceed, because Yah has already prospered us in this way. I will continue, just like Jacob continued to Laban's house, Now I'm going to Isaac's land. If I get there and there's a well there, most likely, 9 times out of 10, there will be some old well that was closed. We're going to dig it up. We're going to excavate. And we will find water. However, you will not be a witness to it. You will not be there. And I want to leave you with this last thing. Should you find yourself in need of me and have to come and find me, you had better bring tribute, because you will not reap where you have not sown. Salvation is not a birthright. It's based upon the act of repentance. And your repentance has to have proof. You shall not appear empty. So, that being said, it is what it is. Everyone will make their choice and will walk in their own ways however they see fit. But you will not do as how you see fit in this land that we are getting. We will live by these customs, by these traditions, and we will keep this law, this lifestyle, this custom, and this tradition under my judgment from now until forever. Because this is how it has led us to prosper. It will not change. I will keep the judgments from Abraham, the judgments from Isaac, the judgments from Jacob, the judgments from Moses, and every other one of the righteous, ending at Ezra, stopping at Ezra. You can keep whatever books from whatever nations that you wish to keep and do what you want. Just know you cannot bring it here. Your belief was never needed, and this is the proof. This is the proof. So I want you to know, when this war escalates to full nuclear fallout in the month of Nisan, and it began to rain fire on the 14th of Nisan this year, I want you to know, you heard it from me first, and that I told you by the member. Then you will know that Yah Allah is real, and that He is with me, and that you were the rebel. But what if it don't happen? Watch the news.
Excuse me, brother. May I say something, please?
Go ahead.
A question was posed to me, asking me, am I really learning? And in response of that question, yes, I am doing more than just learning. I came to this beautiful country back in 2020. When I came here, I went through culture shock, an identity crisis, facing buried hurts and pains of my past, struggling with the fight of toxic behavior and some narcissistic behavior. And that was in 2020. I'm now coming to 2.5 years. Next month will be a half a year that I have been here. And a matter of these few months of being part of House of Instruction, I have accomplished more mentally, emotionally, physically than I've been here for the 2 years. I recognize that there is more than just reading the book, reading the law. You must have the customs and the traditions with it in order to walk it out. I have not been used. I have not been brainwashed. I have not been manipulated. The one thing that I appreciate with Rabbi Sheikh and his beautiful wife Sheikha is they have said to me from the beginning, judge me by this book. And I have, not just judging them, but I've been judging myself. And when I find that there's something about me that is not right, I am quick to make correction and adjustment. The experience here at House of Instruction have been the best thing to happen in my life. Really have. I came here on medications and stuff, not on anything now. My health has been improving. My mind has been improving. I understand a bit of my identification. I'm no longer in culture shock, but I've found my place and I am grateful. So to you who posed that question, who has been watching, I do not have to do any research, but only to abide and walk in this law. The rest is history. I'm done, my brother.
Okay. I let her speak freely. Like I don't have anything to say about what she wants to say and how she wants to say it. You know, there's no regulation. Okay? She was on meds when I got here. I didn't take her off. Okay? Only thing I did was show her a lawful diet plan and show her how, through natural healing herbs, how to detoxify and nutritionalize the body. And then as she began to detox and nutrition, to make sure we did it nice and slow so that she wasn't feeling any side effects. But then she started feeling weird taking the medicine. So she didn't stop taking it until she no longer needed it. Then when she stopped taking the medicine, she was pain free. You know, she had pain meds and medicines for this and medicines for that. And so we started just detoxifying the body and getting parasites out and nutritionalizing. So detox is not enough. We had to take the detox and the parasites out, then put a full nutrition plan in, and it is working.
Yes, it is.
So just so you know, there's no faith. I don't have to come around and pray for healing. There's no prayer line for this.
No. It's just hearing and doing.
That's it. Here's what it is. Let us go now and let us consult the law, see where the healing is supposed to be. Let us get those things and take a look. Is there healing here? And she did. She did. I made her look here, look there. You see this? Then we get these things. And then I showed her. not to be hasty. We took our time, one step, one step. If you
Yes.
try to do it all today, you fail tomorrow.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So we took all the light steps. Now she's feeling better.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good thing. So we don't stop
No.
because now what we once used for the healing of the body has become our regular daily portion for
Mm-hmm.
health and nutrition.
Yes.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it will remain that way for everybody
That comes.
that comes. Okay? Don't care what you have, what issues you got, everybody. The same thing. I gave the same plan and regimen to my Ima out in Queens, Yuma in Queens, and she having the same report.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this nutrition plan you give me
Works.
is working.
Mm-hmm.
I am getting better. My stomach is going down. I'm not starving.
Correct.
No, you're not starving. You're not hungry.
Mm-hmm.
When you are hungry, eat something. You see? So I just wanted everybody to know, just because, I know people's idea about what testimony is and give them a testimony, and I'm not interested personally. I need real results. I need genuine results. If the Most High says I'm supposed to get land and it's supposed to be in this area, that's what I go get. Whatever prerequisites I have to go through to get there, I go through those prerequisites. And that's what a lot of you have. You have a problem because you don't understand context and chronology. You don't understand the time in which something is to be done. You don't have any context of chronology. You don't understand, okay, there may be a no at this time because you need to set this up before you go and do this other thing.
Yes. Yes.
So none of you have any context. You have not taken the practical steps. So you've watched me for a long time. There's a trail of land ownership behind me from the last 8 years. Every piece that I set my foot upon and I took a purchase and I paid for or I had to go to court about, I possess.
Mm.
But I was practicing to get to a certain place and position. There is a practice. I'm not to be there first. I have to go there at another time. You have to know where you're going. You don't know where you're going. You're all groping in the dark.
Mm. Mm.
You claim you talk to the Most High, yet none of you have none of the way, none of the solutions. You cannot help yourself, and neither can you help your brother or your sister.
Mm. That is so true. I was once there. Yes,
And
sir.
you can say I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying?
It is so true.
You can say I'm wrong, but in truth, I'm telling you the truth. Because even when I talk with your best interest from the member in mind. Yes, it rebukes you. Yes, it is a rock of offense. Yes, it says you are wrong on every level and that you deserve death. However, when I tell you the instructions to avoid death, you, the whole nation of you, refuse to accept the instructions.
Mm.
You refuse to accept the steps that you must do, afraid of the risk of failure. So you continue in the thing that you know you're going to fail and die in.
Mm.
Well, continue for you. But I know that there is a remnant,
Yes, it is, sir.
right? I'm not saying that me and my small group the only remnant. No, me and my small group is going to prepare for those who did not hear, those who did not learn, and those who did not get the opportunity to do what was lawful and right because the message never got to them. And you can tell how many that is by my views. You see? You can tell by my views how many that is. Right? So all those who don't hear will have an opportunity. All those who didn't know will have an opportunity. And they're going to come and they're going to sow because they understand they needed to survive and they ain't going to have no choice. Well, it's been nice. I'm going to get to this reading now.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm going to finish by the end of Ramadan. Because when it's time to go out on the land, this is over. I don't have time for this. I don't. All right. So we'll be back. All right. So here we go. Genesis 30 and 12. Bereshit 30 and 12.
And Zilpah, the handmaid of Leah, bare a second son to Yaaqub. And Leah said, Praise shall be mine, for the daughters of Israel will praise me, as his children will be praised before Yah for the goodness of the fruit of his land. And she called his name Ashur.
So it's Asur.
Asur.
Right? So Asur is just like the spelling of Assyria, who was also Asur. The names, they don't go far. Right? Assyria, Assyria, Asur. This is the name of what you guys call in America, Asher.
Asur.
Right? So this is Zilpah, son. So whenever you see PH, they do not say fa here. So it won't be faro. It'll be paharo. Paharo. So they'll say paharo, and you'll be like, Pharaoh? And they paharo. They don't say PH does not make the fuss sound like it does in English. Okay. Zilpah is also the same thing. PH makes pa. It does not make fa.
Okay. Pa.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
When like Fatma will not be Fatima.
Yes.
It's going to be Fatma, and there's an F for that. Fatma.
And Reuben went in the days of Savan, in the time of wheat harvest, and found, how do you pronounce it? Uberukim?
Yaberukin.
Mandrakes in the field.
Yaberukin. They say it's a mandrake. That's what they translate it as. We're going to let it ride for now. I think I mentioned this before, but just go ahead.
And he brought them to Leah, his mother. And Rahel said to Leah, Give me now of thy son's mandrakes. And she said to her, Is it a little thing that thou hast taken my husband?
Oh, wait. Now listen to this. First of all, you have to say, Leah's, I'm going to back up. to
Yes,
verse
sir.
13, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
Leah said, praise shall be mine, for the daughters of Israel will praise me,
Yes.
right? So now let's talk about how the daughters actually don't praise Leah,
Yes.
right? They look at Leah and Rachel like there was some conflict. And here you don't see
Any conflict.
there is no conflict. So the daughters of Yashar, right, the upright daughters are supposed to praise Leah, right, who is in on the plan of her and her three other sisters, Bilhah, Zilpah, and Rahel, all of them together. They are all together on the plan to be fruitful and prosper Jacob, giving him all the sons of the prophecy that is prophesied to him. And now you have daughters, and they want to, I'm not with all of that multiple wives. Okay. You don't want to praise Leah. You not Yasharal, Yasharil, Israel. You're not part of the righteous congregation. You got an issue with it? It says right here, Genesis 13, it says,
That's right.
the daughters of the upright will praise Leah. So that means you got to walk in Leah's footsteps. You have to model yourself after her and everything else. Okay? So, and you notice it says, and his children, the children, who's his? She says, and his children, the children of Jacob, Israel, will be praised before Yah for the goodness of the fruit of his land. You don't really think they're talking about real fruits, do you? Yes. Yes.
What?
If you don't think they're talking about real fruits, you're dumb.
Yeah, I mean,
You're so smart. You're dumb. You done outthought yourself out of the reality of what it actually is. It's real fruit. And you have to get real land in the land and grow it. Not rent the land and grow it. You have to possess the land. You have to own it
in the land.
in the land.
Wow, I mean, what other fruit would it be? It says fruit
No. Listen.
of his land.
Fruit of the land. This is the fruit. It's growing out of the land, out of the dirt.
Yeah.
I told you. And now we're going to get it. And I'm going to get this blessing. Everybody with me is blessing Leah to be like her. They cry because they don't want no wicked husband. It don't mean they all my husband. I'm their husband. No. 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 It's not like this.
And you know, that's what I appreciate more than anything, Rabbi Shay, is that you've never have approached me in a disrespectful way. You've never tried to convince me to be with you or anything. You have always, from day one, kept it as student, teacher, student. You've never crossed any lines with me. None of it. Cause I know when I came here, oh, don't get me wrong. Oh, I had a brother who was ready. Didn't even know who I was, but want to be with me, you know? And I got in a messed up situation because all of us was wicked. All of us didn't know what we were doing. I'm keeping it real, you know? So to be truthful and honest, None of us knew what we were doing.
Me and my teacher,
But you never disrespected me in any kind of way or tried to come up or press up against me. And I greatly, greatly appreciate that. And thank you so much for that, sir.
me and my teacher, we have a saying. There is no ziggy miggy under the table. Okay? In other words, there's no sexual relations unlawfully. You cannot put on the crown and then go lie down with the pigs. You cannot do this. This is a shame. So it's always, there's men, there's women. Even a man think you're beautiful, it's okay. You are beautiful and we can move on. There's people here. All of this overabundance of desire is ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
It is obnoxious. It is disgusting. You cannot build with this. Every woman, not my woman. I have a woman. The woman that is for me will go about obtaining me as a husband through the lawful process. She doesn't need my pursuit. She doesn't need my seduction. She doesn't need my enticement. She can do all of those things by herself. She has to say what she needs to say before the 5 judges. And if I don't have 5 judges, then guess what? Then there is no judgment. You have to wait until the judges show up. That's the law. Well, what if we don't got that? Well, we need to get it so we can have it. So you mean to tell me I gotta wait until we got 5 sages before I could take a sister as a wife? If you take it from the Redeemers, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should work on being a sage.
Mm.
You know, this is the point.
Yes, sir.
The men are not focused on establishment,
No.
getting established in the land. The men are only focused on whatever they want and waiting to be absorbed by osmosis into some mystical kingdom that's supposed to come from the sky, and some miraculous way it hooks up to all the plumbing and the electric in the supermarket, and everything is done for them and they have done no work. You're stupid.
Yeah.
You're dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for America to change its colors. You're dumb. You're so smart. You have reasoned yourself into insanity.
Mm-hmm.
One day America will change. No, that place is burning to the ground. Nobody lived there before. Nobody will live there after.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I don't care. Go over there. Search high and low. You will not find nothing there except more lies. If you want to go to Europe, same thing. If you go to Africa, same thing. And if you go over to China, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Australia, same thing. I don't care. This why you don't like me? That's fine. Don't like me. Moving on. Moving on. I know you all jealous and look at me with the evil eye because of the blessing you see the Most High with me. I can ask for a lawful thing, and if you move or if you don't move, I'm still getting it, and you're trying to figure out how.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Remember my support. If you do that which is lawful and right and walk in the traditions and customs, it will support us together.
Yes.
But you don't want that. You don't want to do it in order. You want to be your own head, and I be my own head, and let the Most High be with you and be with me, and we separate.
Right. Right.
That's not the nation that's not a tribe. That is a brother with discord in his heart and trying to sow discord in between the brethren, which I don't do.
Yes.
Even we have a disagreement, I don't do unlawfully in the disagreement. We just disagree. It's an orange. No, no, no. It's a burnt sienna. Okay, we disagree. You want a sandwich?
Yeah.
But you don't know how to do that because you have no instruction anymore. You don't know how to be a man, and women don't know how to be women, showing you are void of even the most basic instruction. You've become like beast. You're wandering all over the planet.
Yes, sir. That's so true.
Next.
And thou seekest to take also my son's mandrake.
So now she's like, wait a minute. You took my husband. Why my husband first? And now you want my mandrakes. So Rachel, since you want mandrakes.
And Rael said, therefore shall he lie with thee this night for thy son's mandrakes.
So now Rahel says, oh no, you will not accuse me of taking your husband. Now, tonight, he's with you and we eating the fruit of these mandrakes. This is a playful argument.
Yes, yeah. Reading is like, okay, he must have was having his time with her, and Leah wants time
She
with
wants
him.
time.
Yes.
And this is, they playfully negotiated.
Yes, you always see them working.
They're working together.
They're
He
not
goes,
against each other.
when she goes, no, honey, not tonight. He don't say, no, 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 it's my night. Okay, not tonight. No, 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 my sister, she have need, go. And he goes.
Right.
All right, it's over here tonight. Go over here. This is not conflict. This is not conflict.
Right.
He liked to be where he liked to be. Now, I learned this from my teacher. There is some protocol, one month, 2 days, whatever. There is some protocol like this. But he warned me. He says, don't make this protocol. What you do is you go where you want to go as you see fit. Because if you ever make this protocol, this one get, and this one want, and this one, and this, and then they become strife in your house. You where you want to be, and anyone want to spend time with you or talk or conversate, they can meet you there. And then where you want to stay for the night, you stay. This your choice, you free as a man. And I understood the instruction from someone who is successfully married to more than one wife. Successful. I want to be here, I'm here. I want to be there, I'll be there. Nobody understands what's going on in your home. You have to set an order and set precedents, and you cannot let jealousy reign. I'm with this one getting jealousy. I'm with that one getting jealousy. No, it's not competition. I love you, I love you. I give you, I give you. What you get, you get. Continue.
And Yaaqub came from the field at evening.
Okay, so he's coming down. The sun is down.
And Leah heard the voice of the braying of the ass. and knew that Yaaqub had come. And Leah went forth to meet him and said, Thou wilt enter with me, because hiring I have hired thee with my son's mandrakes from Rael, my sister.
No, tonight,
You with me.
this is my night. You will not escape. I gave my sister mandrakes for you. This is this a joke. This is a laughter.
Yes.
There is a joy here.
Yes.
Oh, you don't want to see it. No, it says he hated her. No. You don't know what this hate is in line with. You see? You don't hate her. She's having all these children. There's a lot of loving going on. However, she is not receiving the fullness that she received when he believed she was Rachel. He has diminished some. Why? For fear.
Yeah, for fear Saul.
Right. This is supposed to go to Saul. Now it took Saul's woman. This is nothing but the problem. You don't see it now, but you will see it later. Continue.
And he laid with her that night.
And he laid. No complaint.
No hate.
Nope.
And Yah heard the prayer of Leah, and she conceived and bare to Yaaqub a fifth son.
So now the fifth son is on Leah. She had 5.
And Leah said, Yah hath given me my reward. For that I gave my handmaid to my husband. Even so shall his children receive a good reward, because they will occupy themselves with the law. And she called his name Issachar. Wow.
Issachar.
Mm.
So now you receive a good reward because you occupied yourself. Now, the word occupy, right, means to live in, to dwell in, to work in, right? What is your occupation, your work? Where do you live? What is the area you occupy? So if you don't want to come out and live this with us, again, I told you, you cannot receive the good reward because you're the one trying to do it another way. It's not me.
Right.
Just because I know the way and I am the appointed leader to lead you in the way, you don't want to accept. So don't. Not to my problem. I received the good reward with and the without. Continue.
And Leah conceived again and bare a sixth son.
A sixth one.
To Yaaqub.
Sixth.
6 sons. And said, Yah hath endowed me with a good dowry by children.
The Most High says he has endowed me with a good dowry. Not the 50 shekels.
Right.
The 50 selim. He says this a good dowry.
Right.
By children. And this time?
This time will the habitation of my husband be with me, because I have borne him 6 sons. And thus shall his children receive a good portion, And she called his name Zebulun.
Zebulun, good portion. This is amazing.
Yes, it
It
is.
says you're going to receive a good portion. It's promised to you, but you have to occupy yourself in the law to receive the good reward. You see, all of the names, they point to an action that you're supposed to be doing,
Yes, sir.
but you're not. You don't have the proper books, and you're not under proper tutelage because you have to get into the customs and the traditions before the customs and the traditions are refined by the law. So you're going to have to get in it and live it in the traditional way, which is where we're going. Bye. I told you I'm going to finish this. I'm out of here. And afterward,
she bare a daughter and called her name Dinah, for she said,
Judgment. See? Dinah. Judgment.
Yes.
Like
the
Beit
Beit
Dinah. Judgment. Dinah. Not dinar.
Dinah.
Dinah.
Judgment is from before Yah, that there shall be from me a half of the tribes.
Oh, half. Judgment is from before Yah, that it shall be for me only half the tribes. We'll be back right after this.
Wow.
Okay.
So there shall be for me a half
Of the tribes. Judgment is from before Yah, that there shall be from me half of the tribes. So now she has borne half, and she is pronouncing a judgment. Half is mine. I have received this, and this is because my husband, he liked to stay and live in Rachel's tent, but he come visit me from time to time. But he living here. And I understand this scenario. I have seen it. Okay, this way he want to be, and he have right. He is doing right by law, but this affliction is causing her to be more fruitful by the Most High's judgment. Okay, so this is the law when the Most High say one loved, the other hated. It's not that he hates her, but in the Most High's eyes, it must be categorized this way. This is the favored one. So there is favored and there is hated. Right? Not that he hates her, does he have a favored?
A favored and an unfavored.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay? The word for unfavored is hated, but he don't hate her. He loves her. He cared about her. He's taking care of everything for her. But this is favored one. Okay? Continue.
But from a hill, my sister shall go forth 2 tribes.
So now, what is you seeing in this chapter from Leah? She understands the context of the chronology. There is a time. Now that I have received the 6th promised me from the Most High's judgment of what he has said unto me. Now my sister, who is the favored one, will have 2. It's on Leah. All of this that you're reading
Is on Leah.
this on Leah. She's the mistress of the house. Even she's not the favorite, She is still the head of the household, and the judgment upon the women of the house upon her.
Right.
Just a well-ordered home. She is not causing no conflict. She is not raising her voice. Even her husband, this way you want to be, this way you want to be. I am here, baby. I'll keep popping these kids out like candy. Don't you worry about it. Your father promised you 12. 6 right here.
Right.
Everybody else,
She's in support
support.
of what has been spoken in the judgment
Exactly.
of the 12. So
Of the
she
12.
sees 6 came from me. Okay, then we have these that came from Zilha and Bilhah. And now my sister. Wow. Amazing woman.
And the prayer,
Okay, to go, even as they shall proceed in like manner from each of the handmaids. And the prayer of Leah was heard.
prayer.
Yes.
This, he's listened to what she is saying,
Yes.
and the Most High here's her conversation to herself as prayer. Everything concerning this is recorded before the Most High, and this jotted down. So, yes, what you say in your regular conversation is being recorded for you or against you. It is being recorded. That's why I don't worry about people talking about me behind my back. You never hear me talk about people behind their back. I never say nothing about them. Well, they in their way. What you got to do, if they come back and talk to me, we could talk about whatever. Until then, I have things to do. I don't care. So now the prayer of Leah was heard before Yah.
And the infants were changed in their wombs.
Mm-hmm.
And Joseph was given to the womb of Rael, and Dinah to the womb of Leah.
So she was about to bear the 7th
Child.
and the 8th. And because she said this, that judgment has been seen before me, he's only going to have 12, and I have already born half.
Wow.
And then my concubine bore 2, and her concubine bore 2. It says, it is now fit that she should bear 2 too.
So here was her unselfishness to want to see her sister prosper in
And
fulfilling
she
that
says
of the
it is
husband.
good judgment. Don't let my sister be barren. She should have 2 sons, the last 2. And immediately, Most High hear this. Now she's a birthing a girl, and the other one birthing a boy.
Right, because being the firstborn
Son
from Rael.
from Rael.
Wow. And she conceived and bare a son and said, wait a minute.
Now, hold on. I got a question, right? So you know Joseph is about to be born. So tell me, after Reuben, here's the law question. After Reuben makes a mistake, right, and loses the birthright, the priesthood, and the kingships. If it was not for that, we would have been called the Reubeni, right?
Yes, sir.
If why is it that the birthright goes all the way to Joseph? How come it don't go to Bilhah and Zilhah's sons?
That's a good question. 7.
Why would it skip
All others.
and come down to Bilhah and Zilhah's sons? How come it don't go? How come it goes all the way to Rachel's firstborn?
Is it because of the pure blood?
Yep. So remember that Bilhah and Zilpah
Right, we're from the concubine.
were from concubines.
Yes.
So from the concubine, he took them to wife. They now can. This is from these two. This is a first generation, right? Then he's given them sons. This is second generation. But from their sons, they will inherit each one a tribe after their names, and because their sons are the third generation. 3 generations. So he marries, they come into the family by concubine in the first generation. Now you have Bilhah and Zilpah.
They the second.
It's now the beginning of the second generation they're born. These two produce this new mixed. These the first generation up here, they married. Here's the second. They marry in again. Second generation, their children is the third generation. And their children after them is the fourth generation. They're entitled to an inheritance. So the first two is the first generation.
Right.
Right? So if you're not the Israel and you marry an Ishmaeli, this is the first generation. Our children can marry into the congregation.
Yes.
But they have to go, and the children, one more from here, they have to go one, and then one more again. And that's it. This blood, 100%.
And then with Saud, it's 3 generations.
Yeah, same 3.
Same 3.
Same 3. But for them, it's 3 generations keeping the law. So there's the first.
Right.
Mom and dad come in, they have a child in the law. This is the second. And when that child and have another child, the third one, that third one in. That's it. Just the grandchildren. That's it. Right. Grandchildren in. That's in the family.
Right.
Now with Lot, it's 10.
Right. With Lot is 10, and then with the Nephilim,
there's nothing.
There's nothing.
They can come in, they can serve, they can proselyte, they can keep the law, they can work, but they cannot.
No inheritance.
Cannot.
And the remembrance of Ra'il came before Yah, and the voice of her prayer was heard before him. And he said in his word that he would give her sons. And she conceived and bare a son, and said, Yah have gathered off my reproach, even as Yahushua, the son of Yosef, will gather off the reproach of Mizraim from the sons of Israel, and will circumcise them beyond Jordan.
Ta-da! So now Yehoshua name, not Yehoshua. However, since he does the Yehoshua thing, Moses called him Yehoshua. Even Moses' name is another Moses. But he does Moses things. So therefore, he earned the name Yehoshua. Moses. That's how it goes.
You have to be doing.
You have to be doing it.
To receive it.
You have to complete what the prophecies say and thereby earn your name. You get the name when you start. However, you still have to finish.
Yes.
It's not notable if you don't finish the work. Next.
And she called his name Yosef, saying, Yah will add me yet another son to this one,
Okay.
Yusef. And it was when Rael had born Yosef, Yaaqub said by the Holy Spirit.
Okay, this is Jacob's judgment. So now you're hearing the judgment of Jacob and his wives concerning his sons. Not one, but all his sons.
All the sons.
Every time a son is born, the prophecy over all, unless it specify something to that son, like it did in the case of Joseph, like it did in the case of Judah, like it did now in the case, we in Joseph again, but like it does now in this case, right? It'll say something like about Shimshon, Bar Manobach, the warrior who comes from from Din, right? So now you have this, and you're starting to see this is connected. This connected. Right? What is the judgment spoken about them and spoken over them? It come to pass later. When this son come and perform this, his name this, and no matter if that child named one thing, it changed. Machlon and Kilian, who came from the house of Ephrata from Jordan, they named Joash. What happened? They get involved in something that is unfit to do, and they become known as Mahlon and Kilian because they had done which was unlawful.
Yes, but they were disciples of the law. They teachers of the law, disciples of the law. They knew better.
Continue.
They are to be as a flame to consume the house of Saul. And he said, therefore, will I not be afraid of Saul and his legions?
Okay, so guess what? Everybody worried about Edom and Esau and Saul and all of this. This not my problem.
Right. Yosef problem.
That's Joseph's problem.
That's not yours.
It's not mine. I'm supposed to come over here and get these good fruits going. However, somebody thinks I'm supposed to come over here and make all of these problems and fight all these people off. No, it didn't say to do that.
No, this
You made that up.
right.
So I'm going to go over here and farm and mind my ever-loving business. I promised you I would finish this. It's coming to a close. Now we have Joseph being born. We got a couple of more stories. You got to go into Joseph's stories, and then we're going into Egypt. Once we get into Egypt, we got a few more chapters, and they coming on out. Once we get back to Mount Sinai, I'm a done. So now you're talking about what's Joseph and his tribe supposed to be dealing with. It ain't got nothing to do with me.
Right, because there's two anointed ones. One is the king anointed one who's the messenger, and then you have the other anointed one.
So let Joseph's problem be Joseph's problem. If I'm over here, when he get here, you want a sandwich?
We here to feed you.
I'm doing my job. When you find me, I have what the Most High says I have, and I am doing what the Most High says I am to be doing. I am not to be trying to figure out other folks' problem that is not appointed to me. Leave him to deal with whatever he got to deal with. They ain't got nothing to do with me. Continue.
And he said unto Laban, send me away, and I will go to my place and to my country. Give me my wives and my children, for whom I have served thee, and I will go. For thou knowest my service with which I have served you. But Laban said to him, if I...
Oh, so first of all, take note,
Yes, sir.
because this will become a problem later.
Okay.
I want you to find out and see how Laban get all twisted up. Okay? So now he did go to Laban.
Yes, he did.
And he did say, listen, I've done all this work up here. I have the children I was promised to get. I have the wives. We are all fruitful. I want to go back to my country and go back to my land. What land is that? He wants to go back down to Beersheba, to be with Isaac and Rebekah, his mother and father, after now all of this time. So let's see what happens.
But Laban said to him, if now I have found grace in your eyes, I have observed by divination that Yah have blessed me for your sake.
Okay, so he now says, I have seen by divination. Now, you guys are like, yeah, see, he saw by, it's what you guys are doing, right? You're not going by the book. You're going by, yeah, the Most High spoke to me. When the Most High tells me, and the Most High is not talking to none of you. I have to seek the knowledge and the steps from the book.
Yes.
You can ask my sister. She never wake up no time and say, oh, I wake up and the Most High leading me.
Nope.
It's written down. It's all right here. So I just do it and see if it can be done. And when it can be done, I bless the Most High, for he has prospered me in this way. Continue.
And he said, appoint your wages with me, and I will give you. And he said to him, thou knowest how I have served you, and how your cattle have been kept by me.
So now this Jacob talking, he's like, wait a minute. You already know how I've served you and how your cattle have been kept, and they in all good condition. Right? You already know. So you see how Laban cooking up stuff. Laban's like, listen, I know I've only been blessed because you have been here.
Yeah.
So tell me what to pay you. What to pay me? You know how you prospered? Give me.
Right.
I'm leaving with all these people. You know what it takes to have a house with this many people in it. All right, continue.
For the little flock which you has before me hath increased greatly, and Yah has blessed me at my foot.
And Yah has blessed you at my foot.
Yes.
So that I did all this work, you got all this prosperity, and now Yah he's blessed you on account of me because I have to prosper here. Just give me Continue.
that I have been profitable to you from the time of my coming into your house. And now, when shall I do the work for which I am bound to nourish the men of my house? And he said, what shall I give you?
Okay. So now he says, and now okay, since you coming like this, now you know, in order for me to leave to feed all the people of my house, right? All my sons, everything, okay, you prospered. So now let me work so I can nourish them. So here we are, 14 years in, and he's making this last agreement, and now he's like, well, I want to leave very well, so I'll do it this next service for profit. What happens?
And Yaaqub said, you shall not give me anything else, but do me this thing, and I will return and pasture the flock, your flock, and keep them.
Okay, so he said, don't do me no favors, because I don't need it said that you gave me this and now I owe you this, and then there's this and you have all this trickery. We'll do it, we'll make a solid agreement, okay? And I will go back and I will pasture your flock again to prosper them, but instead of it this time being for wives, right? Because I see you don't want to give me, right? So, and I don't want to receive it now because you played this little game. So now what I'll do is I'll work for it, and this is the agreement. So let's see what the agreement is. All right, we'll be right back. All right, and we're back. Okay, so where do we leave off?
We're getting ready going to verse 32. They just made he was making
All right, he's getting ready.
agreement.
He's making the agreement now. He's determining what his wages are going to be, and that he's going to pasture the flock for these wages. And this is what he wishes. Okay, so we're going to see what that is. Go ahead.
Okay. I will pass through the whole flock today and will set apart every lamb, streaked and spotted, and every black lamb among the lambs, and spotted and streaked among the goats, and they shall be my wages. And my righteousness.
Hold on. So first of all, he takes the speckled, spotted, the black, the streaked lambs and goats, and he says, these will be my wages. So now you have to understand, he is not taking what people think to be the best ones.
He's taking what's considered the bad ones.
He's taking what people think of as like, well, this is a little cheaper, this is the black one. This one here is,
He's special and spotted.
and he says, I'll take these. Don't worry.
That's kind of like what goes on in the mentality of our people today. They want the anointed one to be the tall, handsome,
What you want.
good-looking, muscle man.
That's what you want,
That's what they want. They don't want.
You want Kang the Conqueror. You want Jonathan Majors, he's an actor.
Yeah, that's what they want. That's what they want.
It's not leader.
Yeah.
There's no leader.
Yeah.
You want entertainer. They entertainer. This not leader. It's for the show. No, no. So continue.
And my righteousness shall testify for me tomorrow, when my wages shall be brought before you. Everyone which is not streaked or spotted among the goats, or black among the lambs, shall be as if it had been a theft of mine.
Okay.
And Laban said to him, well, let it be according to your word.
So now Laban agrees
To this.
to give him these black, streaked, speckled, spotted. So now all of these are like the brown ones. They got black and white ones, but they not just the regular white ones. He's taking all the ones that got all kinds of mixed colorations in their wool, in their hair. Okay? Now these are the ones I took. I love these ones.
Yes. Yes.
When I first took them in Segev, I get these ones. Listen, nobody knows the secret. I keep it to myself. You see it in the land. Wait till we get the next set. I take the same kind.
See, they don't quite understand that you live this.
No. So now he did this, and on the next day,
And he separated that day the goats which were marked in their feet.
so the goats, right? So that sometimes the top can be white, but this part here is red or it have colorations. So all the ones that have colorations, not the so-called pure ones. Go ahead.
And the spotted, and all the goats streaked or spotted, every one which had a white place in him, and every black one among the lambs, and gave them into the hand of his sons. And he set a journey of 3 days between his flock and those of Yaaqub. And Yaaqub tended the flock
Now,
of Laban.
wait a minute.
He gave to his sons.
He separated them out. And he gave them to his sons. Then he took his wife and his sons and he sent them and set them up on land 3 days apart. Meaning, he goes to tend Laban's sheep for 3 days. Then he goes home and tends his own flock and checks on his sons for 3 days, gets a day of rest, and he's on this 3 and 3 cycle. You drivers, you know what I'm talking about. So now he's on a 3 and 3 cycle. He's 3 days over here, 3 days he's checking on his family and his sons, 1 day of rest, and he's back to work.
Okay, so 3 days at Laban's.
Then that's just the minimum because they 3 days apart.
Okay, 3 days at home. And then 1 day of rest.
Right? He can also make it a week here and then a week home, but it take him 3 days to get home.
And he gave them into the hands of his sons.
Right.
That means his sons
It's
were working and
and
caring
their sheep.
sheep too.
Sheep, cattle, goats. Yeah, we have this.
Yes. Yes.
Okay? You don't want this. You not in the family.
Right.
This the family business.
Yes.
This is it. I know y'all mad and you want it to be something else. It's not. Continue.
And Yaaqub tended the flock of Laban, the old and the feeble, which were left. And Yaaqub took to him a rod of flowering poplar, and of almond, and of the plane tree, and peeled in them white peelings to disclose the white which was in the rods. And the rods which he had peeled, he fixed in the canals, in the troughs of water, at the place to which they brought the flocks to water.
So now, where you bring the animals to drink. So he took these trees
Yes.
and peeled their barks.
So the poplar,
The almond,
and the plane, plane. Okay, these were the trees. I had a stick made out of poplar. That's some good, strong wood right there.
so he took it fresh,
Yeah.
peeled it, and stuck it in the water. Okay?
And the rod which he had peeled, he fixed in the canals, in the troughs of water, at the place to which they brought the flocks to water. There placed he them over against the flock, that they might conceive when they came to drink.
Okay.
Wow.
So he gave them this,
Wow.
and these flavors in the water
Fertility.
help them. The sheep, they get too strong. They want to make babies.
Ziggy Miggy.
They're making ziggy meat. It's on the table, though. It's on the table, not under. It's on the table. I, the shepherd, I want them to make this. They're making it.
Wow. And the sheep conceived over against the rods. And the sheep produced such as were marked in their feet, and spotted and white in their backs. And the lambs did Yaaqub set apart and placed in front of the flocks. All the various colored and the black among Laban's sheep, he set for himself a flock apart. And he did not mix them with the sheep of Laban. Wow.
So now, only thing he does is he put these trees and he's put them in the water, and it's flavored the water. So the essence of the tree is sitting in the water, and whenever the sheep come drink, they breed. Now he's keeping his flock over here, and he's got Laban's flock over there. They 3 days apart. Okay? Continue.
And it was that whenever the early prime sheep conceived, Yaaqub set the rods in the canals before the eyes of the sheep, that they might conceive before the rods.
So now he is doing this in the eyes of the sheep. Now, the early sheep give birth 2 times in the year. So the firstlings are born right now, in this season, in this time.
Okay.
The second ones are born near the beginning of the fall, in that time.
Around the Nissan.
So the prime time is this one, right? And now he's setting it in their troughs. Now I could show you this, but why? Because they do it, it's right outside my window. You know how I showed you the shepherd and the troughs out there?
Yes.
But he's not doing this with these specific trees.
Right. No.
Right? But this is what I do with my sheep. And it caused them to give birth. Not one, not two, sometimes three, sometimes four. They're giving birth. They are double. Very fast. Continue.
Okay.
Now notice it says the flowering poplar. So you see that it's flowering, which
Yes.
means it's the time of the fruiting. This is in this season. They don't flower in the fall.
They flower in the spring.
Right.
Okay. But with the late sheep, he did not set them
So now you don't set it
with the sheep in the fall.
with the sheep in the fall.
But this is done not in the fall.
It's only done in the springtime.
Only in the spring.
Because when the flower budding, there is a different chemical inside the plant.
Wow.
It's not there in the fall time when there's just fruit. It only coming in this time. What is this? It's the same thing that the bees is taking from the flower to make sweet. It's in the whole tree.
Wow. And the late sheep were Laban's, and the early ones Yaaqub.
So he's watering them in the same place. However, in the springtime, he goes and he does this with them. Now, in the traveling, they changing times. So now Laban is on the same land and Jacob is on the other land, but he doesn't do this
With Laban.
with Laban. He's doing it with his, and he only does it in this season. He's making sure that in the springtime, my sheep over here outside of Laban's sight, and this how I'm dealing with them. I'm giving them a special water in this first season.
And the man increased greatly and had a multitude of flocks and had handmaids and servants and camels and asses. But he heard the words of the sons of Laban, saying, Yaaqub have taken all that was our father's. They weren't part of the conversation, were they? Okay.
It's always
Somebody not part
somebody
of the
who's
conversation.
not there, part of the conversation.
They got something to say.
Somebody who wasn't there when the agreements is made. Somebody who don't know what went down.
Yep, that's got something to say.
They see you doing well, and the truth is their eyes are greedy.
Yeah. Or envious.
They're greedy.
Yeah.
They see you, hey, how you get more sheep? Ain't these all my father's? No, your father's is over there. These are mine. You're not in on the agreement. You're not in on the conversation. Are these not your father's sheep? You see they're here with my sons? All the time I'm with you, father, and you, father, have his sheep. They over there, this, them. He have the best. They all one color. They just the white. He like them. That's what he have. Next.
And from that which was our father's, he hath made himself all the glory of these riches. Oh, so the riches are in the animals.
I told you. The fruit and the cattle. This maketh rich.
Ooh, for us.
For us. Now, if you don't want to participate, don't. My job is to get rid of all you rebels. That's my job. To make this goodness appear as unattractive to you so you don't come with all your idolatry and your rebelliousness and then I have to bury you. Nobody want to deal with that.
Oh my
So stay out there. Okay?
The instructions are very, very clear.
Very clear.
Very clear.
Continue.
And Yaaqub observed the looks of Laban, and behold, they were not peaceful towards him as yesterday and as before it. And Yahweh said to Yaaqub, return to the land of thy fathers.
So now here it comes 6 years later. So he did 14,
Yes.
then he does 6. Now the Most High says, you're done. Get up and go from here. And Jacob leaves.
Oh, goodness.
Okay?
Yes.
Why? The Most High have heard their jealousy? No. Disagreement stand. The judgment stand. Your divination cannot change it. There will be no more trickery. He has not only worked for the wives, but he has also worked for his flock. He is a leaving.
And to thy native place, and my word shall be for you help. And Jacob sent Naphtali, who was a swift messenger, and he called Rael and Leah, and they came into the field unto his flock. And he said to them, I consider the looks of your father, and behold, they are not peaceful with me as yesterday, and as before it, but the Allah of my father have been to my aid.
So now the peaceful countenance
It's not there no more.
is gone.
Yep. I don't know what that looks like.
I'm getting out of here. He is done. He's listening to his sons, and he's doing what he want to do. And they've already making these claims about my stuff that I worked for all this time. It's time to go. All right? What? Keep going.
And you know that with all my strength, I have served your father.
So, I have been diligent in my work with all the strength that I have. I have used everything, and I needed to make sure I prospered myself, and his continued to prosper as they normally do.
But your father hath deceived me, and hath changed my wages 10 portions.
He has changed what I'm supposed to get 10 times.
Yet, I hold and let that marinate.
You see this?
Yes, sir.
When you start changing wages, you start changing what the portion is that somebody is supposed to get. The Most High calls that monetary oppression, and he hates it.
Monetary.
He hates it with a passion. So how do you change the wages? Well, if you don't change the wages, you change the price of things. Now this costs more, and they give you some raggedy excuse. The Most High hates that. The item remains fixed, and the wages remain fixed. You have people now working on jobs who was making the same amount that somebody was making on that same job 10 years ago, but then they went and raised the price of everything.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. Right? You go to buy something today, it's 99 cents. Not special sale. Regular.
Yeah.
You go to buy it tomorrow, it's $10. Regular. No, this is changing the portions. Okay? So this is how it's done. So he changed Jacob's portions 10 times. Yet Yah has not given him power to do me evil. So he's doing this wicked thing, but it's not prospering him. He's doing it, and Jacob is not taking any major L's other than his own personal frustration.
Right. Right. If now, he said, the shriek shall be your wages, and all the sheep bear shriek. And if now, he said, the spotted footed shall be your wages, all the sheep bear those which were spotted in their feet. And ye y'all have taken away the flock of your father and have given it to me.
So now he swapped out the sheep of the original agreement and he said, you take the bare ones and I take the streaked ones.
And it was at the time when the flocks conceived that I lifted up my eyes and I saw in a dream. And behold, the goats which rose upon the flock were spotted in their feet, or streaked, or white in their backs. And the angel of Yah said to me in a dream, Yaaqub. And I said, behold me. And he said, lift up now thine eyes and see. All the goats that rise upon the flock are spotted in their feet, or streaked, or white in their backs, because all the injury that Laban have done you is manifest before me.
So the Most High went and changed all the sheep, right? So now after Laban swaps it 10 times, and then he comes back and now the plain sheep, the plain ones, right? Now outnumber the spotted ones. He want the plain ones. So now he goes, okay, I'll keep now the spotted ones and I'm going my way. Then the Most High get up in the morning after you make this agreement about the spotted ones and all of them spotted, striped, and everything, and they all together.
They prospered. They multiplied.
They multiplied. And the Most High is not done. He'll be back. All right. So after he changed it 10 times, it ended back up being the regular agreement. So now let's see what the Most High has to say. Continue.
I am Allah,
I am Allah.
who did reveal myself to thee, to you at Beit Allah,
All right, at Beit Allah.
where you didst anoint the pillar and swear the oath before me. Rise now, go forth from this land and return to the land of my birth.
So that's what he has to say. Rise now, go forth to the land and return to the land of his birth. And what else?
And Radiel answered with the consent of Leah. With the consent.
With the consent of Leah.
Right. Leah had to approve it first.
Leah has to approve first. She's the mistress of the house. So she answers and she says,
and said to him, can there now be yet any portion of or inheritance for us in our father's house? Are we not considered by him as strangers? For he have sold us, and eating he hath eaten our money.
Now, you don't understand this statement. So, the dowry, which is given
To the father.
to the father, is actually laid up
For the daughter.
for the daughters for when they hit a hard time. It is an insurance.
So the dowry, the monies that the man gives to the father, is to be laid up for the daughters in case of any harm.
It's an insurance. Now, Laban's daughters, the father don't have no inheritance in their father's house,
Wow.
right? He has eaten up, consumed the dowry for them to make himself great.
So what is the microphone?
Underneath here.
Okay.
He has consumed up to make himself great. So the gifts that were given to marry them, and then when he asked about the wages, remember you married them, you was working with them for this time, and he's supposed to leave for his service and go out with gifts, and they don't have that. They have nothing in their father's house for them to try to hold him in. Because everything that he gave was supposed to be for the daughters. They have sons, they have this, and now he has given unto them nothing.
And this is when it comes to virgins.
Same thing. So now listen. So if I have a virgin daughter and I say, the man who does this, this, and this to take a wife for my daughter, and he will have this portion. This don't exonerate the man from paying for his dowry, his dues, and everything else, but there is a portion for my daughter which binds her to my land. So she don't go out.
Right, indeed.
If she have a portion, you don't go out. Because I have stated this over my daughter, so she don't go out. She have her children here, she stays here, she cannot go out. It's not with Laban. He's a consuming everything. And there's nothing wrong with the daughter who wants to go out. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that this is a problem. I just want you to understand there's customs, cultures, traditions, rules, laws, right? So you have to understand, like these sons of Laban, they have become hostile against their own sisters, whom Laban set up to be with Jacob through his own ideas.
Yes.
There's nothing worse when somebody mad that their idea failed.
Yep. Then they want to blame you and be mad at you.
You make this choice. This your idea. How are you coming at somebody else about you dumb idea? Continue.
Okay. And what's interesting is that she answered with the consent
Of her sister.
of her sister and said to him,
Meaning they having a conversation. They like, listen, our father, he has done these things to us. Because every time he's changed the portions,
It affects them.
It's affecting them, they husband, they children, they house. So where does this conflict you guys talking about? Because it's not here. You sit down and you destroy your sister house because you have this fake rule that you guys cannot build together.
Yep.
It's a fake rule.
Yep. Oh yeah.
It's fake. And here, when you look at the fathers, they working together, they consenting. Listen, I want to talk about this because first of all, our father, he has done this. You right. You could say, speak up. You let it be known. They're in consent.
Right.
Everybody not talking over everybody else. They having a conversation. You know, I want to say this. So speak up. That's a good point.
Yeah, and they're not being told to shut up, or it's not your place. You just a woman. No, he's
He sold his
literally
daughters.
listening, hearing them out.
He sold his daughters for labor, and he has done 3 times
Yeah,
the amount, and he keeps
changing
shortchanging.
them. Therefore, all the wealth that Yah have taken from our father is ours and our children's. And now, all that Yah has said to you, do.
So she says, "You say we leaving?
And we
We
leave.
leaving." Because they knew from the beginning how their father think, how he's always on the hustle, how he's always on the scam, how he's always out trying to get over on somebody else.
Yeah, because remember when Raya met
They told him from the
he was
beginning,
cunning. That he
this
was
man
cunning.
is cunning. He always getting over on somebody. Now he did this, and we at this point, we leaving with speckle spotted. According to the written agreement, we leaving.
And Yaaqub arose and set his children and his wives upon camels.
No, he set them upon horses.
No, camels.
No. He put them on cows.
No, camels.
No. He put them on donkey.
No, camels.
No, because if you put them on camels, this means this man is an Arab.
Yeah, we gotta have camels. That's who we are. That's our custom.
Camels. We camel riders. Sand niggas. That's what they say, right? You got them sand niggas. Yes, we sand niggas. I'm a sand nigga. How about that?
Didn't say
Camel rider.
Didn't say zebra. Didn't say lion.
No.
Camel.
Camels. Not elephants.
No, camels.
Camels. Continue.
I'm gonna say. And he led all his herds and his substance, which he had obtained in Padan Aram, to go unto Isaac his father in the land of Canaan.
So he has to now journey to Canaan. He wants to be with Isaac. Okay?
And Laban had gone to shear his flock, and Rael stole the images,
So she went and stole the idols.
for they had slain a man.
Uh-oh. Hold on, wait.
Here it goes.
Here we go. So, according to this idol, they killed a man. What is the next criteria?
A firstborn,
This man is the firstborn.
and had cut off his head.
And they cut his head off.
They salted it with salt and balsams.
So they give it incense, salt, balsams. Uh-huh.
and wrote incantations on a plate of gold.
And they write upon some gold plate.
Sounds so familiar.
And what else?
And put it under his tongue.
And put it in his dead head mouth.
And set it up in the wall.
And they put it in the wall. It's in the wall. So y'all know how y'all got y'all little crucifixion pictures on the wall. It's the same thing. You got your candles, it's on the wall. You got your images, it's on the wall. So they put it in the wall. And what happened?
And it spake with them.
Oh, and now
talk to them.
This idol talked to him. Mm-hmm. Right? And he sits on the right-hand side of the Most High, and he tells them everything from heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, go ahead, continue.
And unto such their father bowed himself.
And they worshiped themselves, and they listened to it, and they subjected to the instructions of this dead man who died, that they killed, and now he's in heaven on their behalf. The author of the New Testament is a Laban. Okay? The author of it is Laban. They change bits and pieces of the story, but the foundation of that whole religion is Laban. See, so Abraham father, he have the 12 idols for each for the month of the year. This horoscope. Now you have Laban, and now you have the foundation of Christianity. This is sound familiar? Sound like what you into, right? Hey, what sign is you? Oh, in the name of, you guys, you.
And now they changed this color, so it can look like us.
Yeah, so now he's black now. He was white.
He's black.
Now he's a black.
And his name has
And instead of the name being from the Roman and the Greek, you give him
a Hebrew name,
the Joshua's name, and then this make it all better. I was just fine with Joshua. Why we have to go take this from Laban? Anyone who bows down to this idol of the children of Israel, you know you the seed of Laban, you not the seed of Jacob. You the seed of Laban. You don't want to hear that. You don't like that. You feel like I'm being mean. Okay, continue reading.
Okay. And Yaaqub stole the knowledge of Laban, the Aramite, and that he did not show him when he went.
So now when Jacob takes Rachel, he has the knowledge, right? The idol works. First of all,
it works.
So he takes the knowledge, right, from Laban, the Aramaic, and that he did not know, did not show him where he went. Okay. And he went with all he had, and he arose and he crossed the Pharat, the Euphrates, and set his face to ascend toward the mountain of Gilad.
That's here.
Right here. And what happened?
Because he saw by the Holy Spirit that from thence would be delivered for his sons in the days of Jephthah, who was of Gilad.
Next.
But after Yaaqub had gone, the shepherds went to the well but found no water. And they waited
3 days. What happened? He left. Most High said, yeah, this blessing, even though you benefit from it, it's not you blessing. I bless all who help and support and abide with my anointed. Now that he's gone and you have afflicted him, this dry up. I remove sustenance. I remove support. Continue.
Oh my goodness. And they waited 3 days. If that it might again
Overflow. So from the time he got there, it was overflowing. Now it's empty.
But it overflowed not.
It did not overflow.
And then came they to Laban on the 3rd day.
On the 3rd day.
And he knew that Yaaqub had fled, because through his righteousness it had flowed
20 years. See? So it overflowed 20 years. We're going to have some waters.
And he took his kinsmen with him.
Okay, so he took his kinsmen, this his sons and his family,
and pursued after him, going 7 days, and overtook him, while sojourning in Mount Jalad, offering praise and praying before his Allah.
So now let's take this. So he was already 3 days away. He left, right? They wait 3 days.
Right.
They chase him for 7 and catch him on the 7th day. How they catch up to him this fast? Because they not observing no kind of Shabbat. It's easy. 3, travel 3, they leave, pursue 7. When he's arresting, they catching up to him.
And there came an angel with a word from before Yah, and he drew the sword against Laban.
The deceitful. Now you know why he's deceitful. See? So they don't even call him wicked yet. As of yet, he has only been deceitful.
And when we read the law, the angel had the sword that the donkey saw.
This the same angel standing at the same place.
Same place.
Right there. Continue.
The deceitful in a dream of the night.
So he came to him in a dream.
And said to him, beware lest you speak with Yaaqub from good to evil. Sounds familiar. And Laban came upon Yaaqub, and Yaaqub had spread his tent in the mountain. And Laban made his brethren abide in the mount of Jalad. And Laban said to Yaaqub, what hast thou done? Thou hast stolen my knowledge, and led away my daughters like captives of the sword. Why didst thou hide from me that you wouldest go and steal my knowledge and not tell me?
So now I was coming here to kill him. But now that Yah and his angel has revealed himself to me, that if I do anything evil or good to this man, I die. I kind of need to talk to him within my right. Nabon is no fool. So he talks to Jacob, about the idol that's missing. And you take everybody and the idol missing, and why would you steal from me? All right. And then he says, you took my idol and you took the wife and children like you stealing from the sword. He has to come up with something. This is what he come up with.
For if thou hadst told me, I would have sent you away with mirth, and with hymns, and with tamarines, and with harp.
He lying.
Lying. No, he wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't. Because when he said, I wanted to leave 6 years ago, this guy was like, well, I mean, you worked 7 years for the daughters, and in truth, you have to be paid for your work too. Okay? So you have to be paid for your work, and you're going to receive the daughters. And this man that come in this way is entitled to receive the portion from the daughter's inheritance. But he's not given. So now we don't have this. So he's talking about mirth, incense. You're going to give up incense and hymns. What? No, you're not. There's amusement.
Oh,
you see?
he's going to give him a party.
You lying. So, and then he continues on to complain.
Okay, quick question. When he talks about stealing the knowledge, and when we go back to 20, it said, and Yaaqub stole the knowledge of Laban. Is
Right.
that the
That's
idol?
the idols. So since
Yaaqub
they
knew
no, you're gonna hear about it.
Okay.
So she took this, and this idolatry, it works. I'm not telling you that none of this magic and voodoo and hoodoo and whatever else, that it don't work for these people. It does.
Right. But it's still an idol.
But however, it is given to them by their angels, and they angels and they demons make it work. However, unto the seed of Abraham, this is strictly forbidden, and it have no power over us. You use it this way, it is overturned. Your judgment come against you because it's not in agreement with the word of Allah, who sent that angel to make this magic work. So there is a law that governs it.
So just because it has worked for you doesn't mean you're supposed to be bowing to it and accepting it. You got to let that mess go.
Right.
Interesting. Neither hast thou suffered me to kiss the sons of my daughters, nor my daughters. Now hast thou been foolish in what thou hast
So now
done.
he is determined to try to turn this somehow on Jacob. See? And I get a chance to say goodbye and kiss my sons and my daughters, and you have been foolish. We're going to pick this up tomorrow. And we are glad for our success. We are glad for those who will be joining us in the future.
Yes.
And for those who won't, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, one step at a time, one day at a time. One
One step.